I'm going to be reviewing this weed puller that was recently sent to me by this brand. So when you first get it, it's going to come in a box like this, just a plain brown box. And then it does require a little bit of assembly. Nothing too terribly difficult. It's going to come with the Allen wrenches and the screws that you're going to need. And then also comes with the instructions, of course, for the assembly process. So let me go ahead and get this assembled, and then I'll show you exactly how this is going to work for getting weeds out of your yard. So assembly process isn't too terribly long. This is what it's going to look like once it is assembled. So actual measurement on this is going to be about 3 foot or so tall. So let me go ahead and head over to a weed, show you exactly how it's going to work. Essentially what you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to put this over the top of the weed. Then you're going to step down onto this to drive it over the top. And then you're then going to bend it back to pry that weed out like that. But let me go ahead and show you. So I got thistle here that I want to get out of the ground. Truthfully, this is probably a little bit too big. Essentially, you'll want to push down on this using your foot to open this up wide. Now I'm just going to take and go like right over the center. I'm going to take and push down. Again, being a thistle, I'm going to need to be kind of careful when I'm doing this. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to pry back. And then I am pulling up the thing, essentially the entire thing, roots and all. So you can see here I'm pulling that entire thistle out of the ground, even leaving a pretty good sized hole. So that's going to be a great way for you to get things like this. If you're going to get specific weeds, like I obviously have a ton of weeds to get out, but if you're just looking for like thistles or something like that, this is going to be a great way to do that. You can do this, you know, if you're doing it in a yard, like pulling thistles like I did with this one, or you could certainly do this just with weeds, like in a flower bed, something like that. And then it is going to be clamped down pretty tightly, just because when you pry it back, it's essentially going to clamp down onto that weed as you pull it out. To get it loose again, I'm just going to take and pull that, push that down with my foot. It's then going to open up that right there. Let me show you. It's going to open that up, and then you can easily like shake this out into a gardening bag, or you know, if you've got a place where you're dumping the weeds at, you could certainly do that also. So overall, it saves you a lot of work having to manually dig these weeds out of your yard or out of your gardening beds.